That was a great game for us today. Really hard team to play against with our style because you can't press them. They're too well coached and too quick of a point guard. We couldn't even trap him with 2 guys. I might have been able to run 3 at him. I don't know if we just trapped him. He might have got by all 3 of them. He has a one-man press break, but their team defense is off the charts, like I told you about in preparation. To be up 16 against them with 6 minutes to play and having outscored them by 22, our execution was off the charts to begin the second half. We just played with a lot more strength. We've been talking a lot about offensive toughness, and we got to continue to get better at it. Getting high percentage shots. We're settling for tough shots. Sometimes it's fool's gold when especially SK and Cash are capable of making tough shots, but it's fool's gold at the end of the day. You're not going to beat quality teams unless you're able to get quality shots out of your offense. And at times this year we've made some tough shots, but you can't rely on that. You can't hang your hat on that. Not be a contender in the Big East Conference.
Billy Donovan said he wasn't going to let Cash and SK beat him, which I guess so the third option is Jaquan. Jaquan said he sensed that, kind of felt like he had to take over. Did you tell him that? Or?
No, I think he's they were not helping off Cash or SK. He's the one guy we got that can drive the ball and finish with some strength. We really struggled to finish in the first half. Titus, Dave, Shaq, guys around the rim, just in general, we really struggled. Shaq Thomas, 10 feet in, we really struggled to finish. And one thing Park can do, get the ball in the basket. And he's as good as I've seen it going to the basket around here in a long time. And it's almost like when he becomes 6'6" or 6'7" when it's time to finish. He literally got almost, it's like he swells up. That's the way he plays around the rim. So he did a great job, really responded. We had to have somebody play with some strength and get the ball up and in the basket around the rim because we weren't being fouled. They were playing solid physical defense. We were just, again, we get in the habit of wanting things to be easy.
The difference on offense, first half, second half, is it as simple as it mostly all just boils down to attacking more? Is that really?
You can't attack if you take a bad shot.
Yeah.
Because if you take a bad shot on the second or third pass, you're never going to break the defense down. So where I was disappointed with Cash and SK, they know better. But the problem is they're capable. It's a give and take because they're capable of making some of those shots. But the answer is to break the defense down. With Titus and Justin out there at the line, there's it's the old adage. There's a reason they're not guarding. Not that they can't make it. Because trust me, Titus makes them in practice all the time. But when you're in Wright State's position, you got to pick your poison. I've been there before. I was at Murray State and had to play Pitt when they were #2 in the country. You got to decide, hey, if we lose, here's how we're going down. We're going to guard SK and Cash, make them other guys beat us.
Are most teams going to do that from here on out?
At times, but we got to understand that and get what we want instead of what our opponent wants to give us. And then the second half, we got what we want. And especially, the first 15 minutes of the second half. But really, we shot 55% in the second half. You got to get fouled. You got to get the ball to the rim. If they're going to deny those guys and they're not helping, then you can just drive the ball to paint. You got to finish with some authority around the rim.
You said after the Xavier game that if you played like that offensively in the Big East, you're going to get blown out.
Yeah.
How much of a concern after that's happened 2 days in a row?
Huge concern. Well, we only scored 29 in the first half against Marshall.
Yeah.
Huge concern. Well, what happens, Bill, when you win and your players, you think, well, we're winning anyway. You haven't had to learn. Last year we had to go through a painful first half of the season and learn what we had to do to win games and how we had to be tough with the ball, became a low turnover team. everybody do what they can do and play with strength and get each other shots. Talk a lot about taking shots that are expected. If we take expected shots, we're a really good rebounding team. The other thing is you take an unexpected bad jump shot, you're not going to rebound it, and then your floor balance, and they hurt us on the run out a few times. You know, so you do that against certain teams in the Big East. It's a dunk-a-thon, especially on the road.
So how do you, since this happened 3 games in a row?
I've been coaching like we lost, but you know what happens? It falls on deaf ears because you're winning. I'm coaching like we lost because now our second half was tremendous, and you know what you do as a coach, you show film, but my leadership has got to realize that we have got to get better, and we can't come out the first half and shoot 25%, 24%.
So you think they have to lose before they win?
I hope not. Be ashamed.
With Titus today.
We shouldn't have to. We're too much of a veteran team for that. That's where my disappointment comes in, where I get upset with our guys at times. You know, it's tough as when you're trying to do. Darren Savino did an unbelievable job. When you're in a position of a scout, it's almost like in a normal league. You know, you play teams twice. The problem is last year we scored 43 on Wright State in the first half, and win easy with 7 or 8 scholarship guys. Well, for the last 3 days, we've been telling these guys how solid Wright State is. They're 8-3 this year. How much better of a team they are. Their shooting percentage are. But you're a player.
And you played against them last year.
And it was 43-22 at half on the road.
Yeah.
So you see what happens. But and it's the same thing that usually in the old conference you play a guy twice. If you beat them first time, that's why there's so many. There's so many splits in series because the mental edge goes to the other team. But that's where we've. If you want to be a great team, though, your leadership's got to know, hey, whatever coach isn't saying is, you know, to calm us.
I guess you know New Mexico lost today.
I just heard that. But South Dakota State guys, the guy's a first-round draft pick, Nate Walters.
What are you going to give them a couple days off for Christmas, or how do you prepare for that?
10 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'm just kidding. We can, you know, I don't like playing this game on the 27th. But it's the only time we really struggled. We were trying hard to get a non-conference home game against a top 25 team. We got flickering hope on the horizon from a Midwest state school that to try to get a series with going. But this year, you know, New Mexico was the one team that was willing to do it. Obviously, we got to return it, and the only time they could do it because they're playing at St. Louis after us. And the only time ESPN can take it. So I would rather have my guys be able to go home for Christmas. I think college basketball, but TV's not going to let that happen. There's too much money involved. I'd be, you know, if it all makes sense if everybody went home for Christmas.
Yeah.
But our football team is in Charlotte during Christmas.
So you go practice every day, or?
No, we'll take tomorrow off. Other than that, we'll practice.
Practice on Christmas Day?
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
We may go twice. Nothing else to do.
With Titus today, it seemed like he passed on a lot of open shots and was attacking a lot more.
Well, they just weren't guarding him and Justin. They were just giving it to him. And you got to understand that, you know, if we're on there's a time to take it when the other team's in a defensive scramble. When you're just standing there and everybody's staring at you and they're going to block out if you miss it, that's you know. And that's where I got to do a better job with both of those guys. But they, you know, you look at those guys; they gave us great production. Yeah. I mean, they 20 points, 16 rebounds between them.
That's what I mean. It seemed like he was not falling for it. He was really.
In the second half, for the most, he did a really good job in the second half.
Yeah.
He checked in the game in the first half before he got his first touch. He shot a 22-footer. You know, which I love his confidence, but I don't know if that's the right time for that.
Yeah.
Maybe foul somebody, get in the flow or something. He reminded me of my brother at the sports mall. Cross half court, you know, everything's a good shot once he crossed half court. Of course, he didn't go very further than that anyway. Once he got over 200 pounds, he went 3-point line to 3-point line. That's why I didn't play with them guys. I stayed in retirement. I'm gonna watch him shoot 35-footers. I mean, at least, you know, he's got to learn. You just got to learn. You can't, you know, break a sweat, man. Which my brother never broke a sweat anyway. Very similar, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
All right, guys, have a great Christmas.
Have a good Christmas,
Merry
Coach.
Christmas.